Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily podcast that helps you build a thriving business. My name is Anna Angelova. I'm a business coach and consultant and the co host of this daily podcast. And we are streaming live on our Plandor channel on YouTube today. And it's almost 10 a.m. this beautiful Saturday. And as usual, I have Joris Minesvand with me, my co host. Hey Joris, good morning.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone.
So today, if you are a regular listener, you know that we use Saturdays to wrap up the week and kind of go through the episodes that we had in the past 6, 7 days. And it's not today is not an exception. This week was very weird though, because we were on the road for most of this week actually, and we did record some of the episodes while we were driving. So it was definitely an interesting week, and we started the whole Sunday Monday started with talking about planning for success, like planning for success for your business, and starting with actually an exit strategy. And now a lot of you, our listeners, like you already have a business, so like you've started your business years and sometimes even decades ago. And this might be something that you have never really thought about, right? Like an exit strategy. What do you do? And the whole conversation was actually prompted because Joris and I, we wanted to, like, we went to Iowa and we were really close to Des Moines. And there were a few restaurants in Des Moines that were featured in, throughout the years, they were featured in diners.
Dives and dives.
Yeah,
Triple D.
the Triple D with Guy Fieri. And as we were on our trip last week, we actually caught an episode that showed one of those restaurants, right? With George,
The
what
Grill
was
King.
the Grill King?
Barbecue
Yeah,
King, yeah.
the Barbecue King, yeah. And they were showing, and it was a drive-in, right? Something that you go with the car, and we were like, oh wow, looks like such a great experience. The episode was from 2015. And we actually were thinking, oh, okay, let's go visit this one in when we reach Iowa in Des Moines. And unfortunately, we found out as we were researching, we found out that it was permanently closed after George, the owner, after he passed away in 2019. And this is what actually prompted us to talk about crafting exit strategy. And yes, it's okay if you decide that your business ends with you in a way that you retire and that's it, your business is not there. But what if you create something that's bigger than you, right? What if your business could outlive you and be a legacy you leave, right? So thinking about these options and like in some cases, like especially with tech nowadays, everyone wants to have a huge IPO and get bought by one of the big ones, the FANG. So there are options for you when you think about your exit strategy, right? Like, what do you want to do with the business? Do you want it to it's okay, it's just with you, it ends? Or do you want to have some kind of succession where it stays with your family, kids move, get involved, and then at some point they manage and run things? Or do you want to have, like, yes, your family owns it, but your family is just the ownership, right? Like someone else manages it, it turns into its own entity. Or maybe you want to build it into a business that has an IPO, or you want to sell it at some point. So it's really important to think about it from the beginning. But then if you have had your business and have never thought about it, it's a good reminder to think about it. What kind of legacy do you want your business to leave, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. It's yeah. Just because you end doesn't mean it needs to end with you. And most of us know this from experience. Our children would never want to have anything to do with our what we do. So building these automated systems where it allows the business to run on its own and continue it's important. And most of the times when we do this, it's also surprisingly helps us to disconnect earlier, not wait until we die and it ends. We can just, if you want to call it, retire early or disconnect early and start building another business.
Oh yeah, or just be engaged with the business a few hours a week and then do whatever you want to do, like ride your motorcycle, play golf, whatever your thing is. And I love that you mentioned systems. It's really important, the building systems, building the business as a product, right? And we did talk a lot about this on Monday. So if you missed the episode, it's from April 14th. Monday, so go listen to it, and you can see what we discussed there, and start thinking about your exit strategy if you haven't thought about it. And actually continuing with the theme of discussing things that we experience, right? The discussing things that we experience. On Tuesday. It would have been Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday, we talked about proactively managing your brand online. And again, this was triggered because as we were about to head to Chicago, I was checking a store, an UGG store, and I saw that the Google reviews, it was like 1.9. And a lot of people had really bad reviews, and there was absolutely no response from the store itself, right? No one was replying to those comments, nothing. It's really, I was so surprised. I'm like, UGG is supposed to be a brand, right? Such a well-known brand. Why are they not managing their online reputation? So one of the key things, the key themes that I mentioned at that time as well, is that we as business owners, yes, a lot of times we think about our business and we are thinking, oh, how do we do this? How do we do that? Like, what do we need to do for the business? And sometimes we forget that there is so much power in us as consumers of other businesses, for us to learn from our experience as consumers and apply this to our own businesses. And again, this is one thing that why we talked about the online reputation, like seeing that, oh, this is how they manage it or not manage it in that case. Like, what can we learn? How can we manage our own reputation better?
Yeah, you're right. It's the loyalty is both ways, right? As the brand loyal customers come to you over and over for their shoes and for whatever brand you're selling, you have also to be loyal. You have to show the loyalty back. You have add value to the customers, and so it's for the small business owner that's even more important, because your circle is smaller than UGG. UGG is global, so they may not care for one store in Chicago, but as a small business owner, it should be more important to you. And we have seen so many times, all the bad, even the good replies. If you good reviews, I've seen people who reply to the good reviews and thank the people for it. So it's very important to keep your brand loyalty alive, like and let your customers know they're important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Engage with them. Like every single, whether the review is good, bad, somewhere in the middle, acknowledge it, validate it, engage with your people, and absolutely, it's small, mid-sized businesses. We can't afford, like you said, UGG might not care about a store because of the brand they have, but this is like those small things. Gradually, they compile. And as business owners, small and mid-sized businesses, this is important. And one other thing that we discussed, and again, you can go back to the episode from April 15th to listen to the whole conversation again. But what we also talked about is that there are two aspects. One is being proactive, where you deliver an experience where people will not complain, right? Like they will actually, if they review it, wow, what an experience it was. Like they will give you 5 stars. And then the other aspect is when people review, whether it's the good or the bad, you actually engage, you mitigate things. Like you actually take the feedback into account. And I mentioned that I've seen examples where like someone put, let's say, a 1 star or something like this, but because they got a response from the company, and then from there, the whatever it was solved, then they changed their review, they updated the review, they updated the rating to, again, it might have not been 5 stars, but like, let's say 3 or 4 stars with the update that because of their response and how they dealt with the issue, they're now updating the rating and the review. So 2 aspects. One is proactively creating experiences where your customers rave about you and are so happy and give you 5-star reviews. And then the other part is when something happens, jump on it, solve it as soon as possible. Really, Joris, you put it so well. Show your customers that you care about them, that they matter.
Mm-hmm.
And
what else did we talk about this week?
Well, interestingly, we changed gears on Wednesday. So it was another episode we recorded while we were driving back home. And this one was all about integrating AI into your business. And it's a long one. It's from April 16th. It's like over 20 minutes. So I highly recommend for you to go and listen to this. I'll let you start.
Yeah, it was all about what AI is and why AI isn't, and what it can or cannot do for you. We have scoured literally the internet everywhere, corporations, and all AI has done is automation. And even now they're talking about, they take a certain robotics that we've had since 1960s and they call it AI. And people jump on it and say, this is not AI, we've had this before. This is just a robot. This is just a program. And we talked about the big corporations, the 2 big corporations in Canada, that they had spent millions and almost 2 years of time. And they admitted at the event that they'd only achieved automation. So if it is automation, it's good. It adds efficiency, and it will help you. You can take some of the mundane work. You can automate that with AI, and you can then get your people to do better things, more important things. And I think you talked about the LLM, what AI is. I don't know if you want to deep dive into that right now, but
yeah,
the idea is not to be afraid of not having it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I actually do want to touch a little bit on this because like the term AI, like we're using it because like everyone is very used to it, but we don't agree with it. It's not intelligence. And is it artificial? It's artificial, right? It's ultimately computers. But one thing that I wanted to mention, so yeah, we talked about the language models, and go listen to the episode. But what I wanted to mention is bring something up from this morning. You were showing me that video that I don't know how true it is or not, and what created it or not, but it was a funny, kind of hilarious video of how like asking AI, again, it's not AI, it's LLM, right? The large language model, how toothpaste is created. And then the whole video had turtles in it and who were bleached, and then it's like what?
Purple bleach
and these models are predicting, ultimately they predict what's the most likely next word that should come as the answer. They don't think, they don't reason. Like there's no reasoning, there's no thinking. It's what's the next word that's most likely to come. That's it. And that's why they hallucinate what we call, because this is based on the data. This is a model that predicts, oh, this is the most likely next words, and that's it, and that's it. And garbage in, garbage out, right? Depending on the data you feed it, this is what you get out of it.
No, I think this one took a little bit to the next level, where without even garbaging in, it just creates garbage. You just ask it a question, it creates garbage.
Well, if you think about it, there's a lot of garbage online, right? So, and a lot of these models were trained with what's available online, and it is garbage. Like a lot of the data, like, if you think about it, a lot of the information online is like probably 99% of the information online is garbage.
Yeah, I think you know what would be interesting to ask these LLMs to create a movie. That would be a fun movie to watch.
It will be. They create. They can come up with hilarious things. So, when it comes to integrating AI into your business, we spent over 20 minutes talking about this on April 16th, Wednesday. So if you missed this one, listen to it. We highly recommend it. So.
And contact us to help you out. I mean, if somebody's trying to sell you something that has AI and they're asking for 10 times the price, that's not the way to go.
That's not the way to go. It's definitely, yes, there are use cases, and we promised we are working on this to share a few use cases so you can think about, especially for the LLMs that everyone is using, like where are they applicable in a small business and how you can use it. What you mentioned, Joris, as well, right? Like, don't be afraid to not be like everyone else. The fact that everyone else says, "Oh, I'm using this," stand out by not using it. Zig when people are zagging, and there is so much power into the human-to-human connection, which actually brings us very, very nicely to the conversation we had on Friday. And you might notice that we missed Thursday. I was not feeling very well, so we skipped. Yeah, we skipped after the trip and everything. We didn't pre-record anything, and lessons learned, right? As we go, we learn. And on Friday, which was yesterday, April 18th, we talked about networking, whether it's a waste of time or an essential business strategy.
And if it's done well, if it's a good strategy. If not, you'll end up with, again, a lot of garbage. You are the average of 5 people you surround yourself with, so make sure they're the right people.
Yes, absolutely. So it's done well, it's essential. And again, this is something that we talk about it because we are doing it ourselves, right? We joined the Board of Trade, the local Board of Trade here, and we went to one event. We are going to another event on Tuesday, and we already see the power of connecting with other business owners. And even for me as an introvert, being able to connect with people and network my own way, it's fantastic. So finding your way, what works for you, what are the type of people that you want to surround with, and the type of people that you would love to connect with, right? And most people will probably not, we have that saying that some people are in our lives for a reason, others for a season, and others for life, right? They saying, I don't remember exactly how it went, but the thing is that a lot of people will not be your clients, will not be your partners. They'll be acquaintances. Like, yeah, you just be acquainted with them. Then some people will become your clients. Some people will become your partners. You can do ventures with them and things like this. And then as we network, like, other people become our friends even, right? And this is, I mentioned it yesterday as well, that one of the findings even from that Harvard review on longevity, happiness, whatever it was, they found that the biggest contributor to our happiness is actually the people around us, like having a community of people. So networking, having a good community is not only essential for your business, it also essential for your life. And we are getting to a point that with all those technological changes that are happening and all these things, we're actually getting to a point where we start craving human-to-human connection more and more. So highly recommend, if you are not doing anything to network with people, start it. Even if it's once a month, start with once a month. Then if you want to engage more. And don't forget, I mentioned it yesterday, I think as well, networking is not just about meeting new people. It's also about your existing network, right? Reconnecting with them. re-engaging with them, going for coffees, the lunch, whatever it is, even just for a walk or something. Especially now that spring is here, there's so many ways you can connect with people in person and enjoy being together with someone without a screen.
Absolutely. All right. So that wrapped up our week.
Yeah, this was what we discussed a bit. To call it eclectic,
For lack of a better term, yes.
Yes, yeah, it was an interesting week, and tomorrow is Easter Sunday. We'll be with you as well, so come join us for another episode as we kick off the week. And next week will be all about creating a thriving business. Like how do you create more efficiencies in your business? How do you make sure that your business creates the harmony between profitability, employee growth, customer satisfaction, and overall business impact? This is what our conversations will be all about. This is what the topic for next week will be. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and come back every day. Like our podcast and conversation is pretty quick, usually 10-15 minutes. Sometimes we do go over with 20 minutes, especially when it's something that we're really passionate about. So yeah, this is it for this past 7 days, and come join us tomorrow with the next episode. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you are a subscriber, thank you. We really appreciate you being here and listening to what we have to share. And if you have any questions or any topics we want us to cover, let us know. Let us know and we'll cover them. And
have a great weekend.
Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter, yeah. Bye.
Bye.